And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Awesome Kingdom for Minds and Labyrinths. This is a game by Kevin Wilson, and it's a game about being awesome! It's a dungeon crawl spoof where you pick a hero who's going to go through and find traps and stuff. It's essentially a movement style game where you get to play movement cards and move your guy around, trying to land on the best cards and not to land on bad cards. It sounds pretty simple. It is. It has a very tongue-in-cheek style humor. Let's take a look at how you play it. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to take their hero. Maybe you're the Kill Assassin, or the Rage Baron, or the Prestigemancer, or the Scout Explorer, or the Rocketeer, or the Clarion, or the Junk Venter, or the Paladude. Each of these has a special ability that tells you when you do something, something will happen. They have a matching figure. You're going to put these figures in the dungeon. The dungeon is based of different rooms. Each room is represented by one of these. Your people will start in one room and you'll fill the rest with room cards. Each player is then going to get a handful, by hand I mean 3 movement cards. One player is determined to go first. That player is going to pick one of their movement cards. So their movement cards, for example, here it says move 2 in either direction when you play this card. Here this says move 2 to the right. And if you pass a monster, you can claim it without landing on it. So maybe I play this one on my turn. I can move 2 in any direction. And this is me, so I go move 2 in this direction. Now when you're moving, you have to be careful. Some things, when you pass over them, like this one here, it says if you pass over this, you will lose 3 coins. Sometimes they'll make you stop. For example, this one here. When you go over it, you stop. It doesn't matter how much movement you have left. Sometimes, and then usually though, when you land on a card, you will get that card. So this Cleric's Mask, this Cretan's Mask here, is 8 awesome points. Although you will only score the least valuable mask you have claimed at the end of the game. There's multiple masks, so this might be good, but you better not get any other masks because 8 points is a lot. Or maybe you'll land on this one, and it says claim the top card of the dungeon deck as though you landed on it. All right, let's see what I got. I got bloop money. This gets me 0. Oh, I land on it. Gain 4 coins. Then I get 2 wounds at the end of every day for each bloop money you have, including this one. Okay, that's not too terrible. It gives me 4 coins. At the end of the game, coins are going to be worth awesome points, and wounds are going to be worth minus awesome points. But there are ways to cure wounds, so that's not too terrible. When you fight an enemy, like this guy, you land on him, you're going to get 2 wounds, but he's worth 3 awesome points. If you land next to him on either side, you'll get a wound. And you'll see throughout the deck, there's all sorts of cool things. Here's a guy worth 4 points, but when you land on him, you take 3 wounds. Here's the blood bank. Whenever you are healed of all your hit points, you'll get half that much gold. It's like a special ability that you have. Here's the Tacky Mask, which is worth minus 1 point. Don't get that. And the other mask. Here's Gronk Juice. At the end of a day, you can discard this to heal half your wounds. Here's the Guardian worth 9 points, and you get 4. Then you shuffle them into the dungeon deck instead of claiming it. So the only way to get the Guardian is through some other method. Here's the Mother Load, which is worth 6, but it's only worth minus 2 if someone has found the other load. And here's an Ugly Mask, and the Madman's Son, and Gems. These are just worth money. So you're going to be getting all these. Once everyone has gone around a table and played all 3 of their actions, then the day is over. If there's any day effects will happen. And by the way, when you land on a card and take it, it's replaced with the next one from the deck. So, actually, it's not replaced. Where you left, all empty spaces are replaced. At the end of a day, each player is going to get 3 more movement cards. They'll do it. And after 3 days, you will count up all the points on the cards that you've gotten, both positive and negatives. You will get points for your gold coins. You'll lose points for your wounds. And whoever has the most awesome points is the awesomest. Again, players are going to be using their special abilities as they go through. So, for example, the Kill Assassin, whenever he passes another hero, he gives him 2 wound. This guy, whenever he gets a wound, he also gets money. The Rocketeer, when they pass another hero, they steal a coin from that hero. This guy can heal other heroes from wounds, but he gets paid for doing so. This guy who gets negative cards, or she adds them to her score instead of subtracting them. So they each have a special ability. Anyway, who is the awesomest hero in the game? Now at the beginning of the game, you can pick if you want to play in the Mines of Murray or the Cretan's Labyrinth. And these add different things. Like, for example, here, whoever has the most gold at the end of the game gets 3 awesome points. Or here, if you claim 3 different riddles, your traps are worth worth points instead of losing you points. So these are kind of like overall rules that you can add. And I wish they had a few more of these in the game. The game itself is silly. You got to go into this knowing that the game is silly. And I went into it like, is this Munchkin silly or fun silly? And happily, the game is fun silly. I really enjoyed this. I can't justify, there's not a lot of strategy for sure. I mean, there is some, right? Because you look at the 3 cards you play. The first card you say, okay, where's the best spot I can move now? But the second card you say, okay, if I move here, I'm going to be required to play my third card, and that's going to move me here. Now, everything's not set in stone. Someone else might move somewhere. Someone else might go grab something. And there's going to be, especially the more players, the more chaos and different cards will be disappearing. But at the same time, you do get to make some decisions. You can try to, if you're the kill assassin, you want to get close to other people so you can jump over them and give them wounds all the time. Sometimes you'll say, do I want to go for the random card or do I want to go for a card I know is good? Do I want to try to collect this set? Or should I heal my wounds? There's not a lot of decisions, but they're fun. And it's fun just to be like, yeah, we're going through the dungeon and we're going to fight the bad guys and kill them dudes. And I suppose that humor can run thin pretty quickly, but it works. And I felt like the game gave enough choices to make it an entertaining filler-style game. The artwork's humorous, the thing's humorous, but at the same time I thought, okay, now which card? Should I move that direction or that direction? And I felt like, yes, I'm not making these monstrous choices here, but it gave me the illusion of making a fun choice. And as you get the different things and collect them, and when you win the game, you can say, I think I might have played the best here. I feel like the game has that possibility. And the special abilities for each characters are pretty cool. It looks like there's other sets. I don't know how well they'll be combined. But I do think that this game, it's not going to appeal to everybody, right? There's not, it's not like, I'm going to be writing a strategy article tomorrow on Awesome Kingdom. You'll probably never read a strategy article on Awesome Kingdom. But I think you will see people laughing and having a great time playing it. I kind of went into it thinking, we'll see. And I came out having a really fun time with this one. I like dungeon crawls, and it's okay to spoof them once in a while. Munchkin is a little bit too much like, this is funny, laugh. To me, this one is more of a so ridiculous that you just laugh naturally, and it seems like the game is pretty decent behind it. So this is the kind of dungeon crawl I like. That's Awesome Kingdom. Dice Tower Judgment approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.